Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast. Live from CPHI Milan, you're listening to the PharmaSource podcast, and I'm here with Samir El Nasharty from Acino. Samir, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Busy day, busy at the Acino stand today. It'd be great if you could give us a bit of a background to the company and what it is you do, please.
So let me do a quick introduction about myself. Samir El Nasharty, I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Acino. Acino is a Swiss pharmaceutical company headquartered in Zurich, with a clear focus in selected markets: Middle East, Africa, Ukraine, CIS, and Latin America. And we have a strong strategy in how we can deliver a high-quality product for our patient in these markets. Acino is part from Arcera Life Science platform. Arcera established by ADQ, Abu Dhabi-based investment and holding company, which supporting our growth and sustainable growth into the future.
Great, thank you. So you mentioned some of those markets that you're in, which obviously there's been a lot of geopolitical issues around that. How have you found it as a company having to navigate some of those conditions?
Sure. So in this market, there is always a challenge that you are having underserved patient in these markets due to the political challenge, economical challenge, inflation, different challenge, which is putting a lot of pressure into the operation. Acino commit to serve these patients through providing a healthcare solution for these physicians, doctors, and patients, and through smart packaging, smart logistics, smart distribution. So we have more than 100 distributors over these markets, which provide access for our patient to our medicine.
And more important than ever at times like this to make sure that supply is there for the patients.
100%.
Be good to understand more about your manufacturing and supply chain capabilities, please.
Sure. Acino is a key manufacturing company in the generic industry. We supply different medicine like CNS, pain management, cardiovascular. And we have a strong supply also for our B2B business over 50 countries. Overall, Acino has 6 manufacturing sites in Middle East, Europe, and Africa. And we utilize our external network, manufacturing network, 90 CMOs, hundreds material suppliers, which is helping us and provide access to our patient in these markets.
Well, 90 CMOs, that's quite a network to manage.
It is quite network, it is complicated, but when you think about what is the ambition and how we are focusing on this ambition, is really how to manage this through an easy organization, which is what we call external supply organization. This is to ensure that we manage the full network and from end to end.
How do you get the right, given your role, how do you get the right operational balance of this many different CMOs, all in different locations, presumably all with different contracts? I mean, what sort of advice would you have about the best way to manage a network with that complexity?
So one is the standardized approach in everything you manage across. 2 is the business expectation. 3 is what is exactly the patient needs. 4 is looking into the full end-to-end related to all CMOs and managing CMOs as a partners. I think the key strategic thing that you can do in all of these CMOs or with all of these CMOs is the strategic partnership that you can manage with them.
Yes. Great, thank you. So we're asking everyone at the show to call out an important market trend, which for you is really front of mind as you're looking at 2025 and beyond. What are those most important trends for your business, please?
I think for the whole industry is few things. One is the personalized medicine. 2 is related to the digital transformation, which is you are seeing today. Investment into innovation, this is the key things I see it as a market trend. How Acino is playing a role here? So Acino commit to expand geographically through strategic partnership. And this is helping us to strengthen our innovation portfolio. And this includes the recent acquisition that we had for M8 in Latin America and the integration of Pharmax in Middle East.
Yes, I saw that. Congratulations on those.
Thank you very much, Lou. Digitalization, I think it's the most important strategic pillar, and Acino play a big role inside all of the regions, markets, and how we can support this. For example, the digital lab, that's one of our strongest initiatives we have across our manufacturing network, which is accelerating the access for our patient for our medicine.
Could you talk me through that digital lab approach, please? How are you implementing that? What are the objectives?
So the digital lab is on the implementation plan. And it's one of the key things that we see it from a quality perspective as a strategic topic, where we can eliminate some of the tests which doesn't create value, eliminate the papers which doesn't create value for our patient because it's consumed time. And looking into, again, the full end-to-end from a testing, starting the material testing, product testing, till we deliver the product up to the mission, including the distribution testing.
Great. I mean, and yeah, incredibly complicated. I mean, how are you rolling that out across your network of all of those suppliers that you have, the CMOs? Are they part of this digitization drive?
No, so I would say that it's more into the in-house across our manufacturing network. However, we expand our learning to the rest of the CMOs, where we can also helping them to upgrade or to look into where they can digitalize some of their process. Because every partnership we are having with any CMOs, the more that we help them, they help us with the outcome that we provide the product to our patients.
Yep, thank you. And one of the other trends you mentioned there was the move to personalized medicines. I wonder what sort of initiatives you're doing in that regard.
So, as I mentioned, that we are doing a lot of strategic partnership in Latam, for example, related to the acquisition of MA. And where also the patient or the innovative medicine playing a big role in this market. And you see the trend today. So a lot of the pharmaceutical industry looking into cell and gene therapy, specialty products, and we're strategically Acino looking into this to increase the growth for the future also, and to be able to help more patients into this therapeutic area.
Great, thank you. And then finally, we're trying to check the pulse of how everyone's feeling about the industry, the levels of investment after the sort of the roller coaster of COVID. How are you feeling when you spoke to your customers and your partners? What's your sense on how positive the outlook is now going into next year?
Okay. So let me unpack the question into two pieces. One is related to the COVID. So we all know that the COVID created a lot of disruption and supply issues for the whole industry. However, I see a key recovery topics or indicators which shows how the industry is really recovering. One is a stable production. Two is related to the digital tools that every industry is looking into. Three, and that's the most important topic, is increased investment into the R&D. So if I would like to conclude in this one is, we see many companies which have rebounded already from the COVID, yet some companies are still facing some challenges. And this is due to the inflation, economical position, political situation in certain region, which is creating some pressure into the operation.
And of course, I mean, given the markets you operate in, I imagine that supply chain resilience must be a big focus for you.
This is one of the key focus that we look into, how to have a strong supply chain network from an end-to-end perspective, starting from our manufacturing, CMOs, in-house manufacturing sites, quality organization, logistics and distribution, smart packaging for our patient to ensure that the product is really delivered on time for the patient.
Perfect. Samir, thank you so much for your time today. Pleasure speaking to you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To keep up to date with the latest in biopharma outsourcing, sign up to pharmasource.global. Thank you for listening.